Get my head back in the game here. Here we go, Mayor.
Okay. Great. Well, I'd like to welcome everybody to the okay, we'll try it again. I'd like to welcome everyone to the Township of Nipissing Council meeting, Tuesday, July 11th. Amended agenda. Start time is 6:30. So first of all, I'll ask if there's any disclosure of pecuniary interest.
Yes.
Seeing one from Councillor Foote. Thank you. And we'll start with committee reports, and we'll start with Councillor Yem.
I have a very short one. I was late getting there. So we talked about, we got a letter from Knox United Church. They want to donate some artifacts. We're going to probably go tomorrow or the next day to look at it.
Yeah, we're in the process of scheduling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we were going to approve a motion for the Nipissing Township operating standards. And the late guy was the only one with the package. Whatever happened, I was the only one that had a package. So that is deferred. And then I made a motion to adjourn. So I was there about 5 minutes. That's how handy I was.
I don't know what happened to the mail,
No.
but
So,
yeah, one member, Mary, when she went home, she called me the next day and she did have
Yeah,
her package.
so something,
Some went, some didn't.
yeah.
Don't know.
So anyway,
Okay,
that's where we're at.
I like that kind of meeting. Councillor Foote.
Awesome. We had a rec committee meeting last night. So it was last night. Tons of stuff going on with rec committee. Bottle drive was collected on Sunday to the tune of $1,113.15. So that brought both landfill sites up to and cleared out. And we'll keep a close eye on that. And we talked a little bit about what the bottle drive sponsors and what it does and what we've been doing with the money. So some of the events we sponsored with it is soccer, trivia night, Easter, the teen dance is coming up, and that's the kind of stuff that we're doing with that money. Coming next again is the teen dance on July 21st, followed by a movie in the park for August 19th. So pending, we'll talk about fireworks, possibly for fireworks after the movie night, so that'll be fun. We did talk about the bleachers that were donated, so we found a home for them, and we talked about where to put them for a home, and they're going to try and get those in place in the next week or two. So we had bleachers and picnic tables donated, which saved us a ton of money.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic. So we use the bleachers in the park and the picnic tables around where the play equipment is in that whole area, and give people a place to sit. So that helped a lot. We are working on a seniors program. So we're working with the East Perry Sound Community Support. They had reached out to us because they were looking for space. So we got a lot of feedback from the meetings saying, hey, can we do something? Can we do something for seniors? So it worked out perfectly. And we all agreed that we're going to run with it. It's no charge. It's no charge to the seniors joining, and it's all they need is a space. And we have space. So we said, let's go for it. So we're going to run it and see what happens. It'll be once a week. And if we can get enough people together, that'll be awesome. So it's all volunteer. They have everything. We have to do nothing, which is really great. Heritage sign will be replaced using bottle drive money. So heritage sign was $1,072. So it's a great use of that. And that'll be replaced. It'll look good with the new branding, right, Will? And so it'll all be nice and clean and neat and stuff like that. So coming up next is we're working on costing out the info boards. So costing out the info boards for both landfills, the community center here, and the park. And that'll help with our communication piece we're trying to do. So it'll be plexiglass, wood plexiglass, and then we can put everything that's going on in there, and people have a place to go. So that'll be really good. So we're just costing that out. We'll go from there. Up next for Command Community Center, they have their yard sale and fall dance, and it's going to run in conjunction with our trunk sale. So exact same day, and we'll help them advertise for it. And then after that, what we're planning is we're talking about the municipal chili cook-off. So it's, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. So we're gonna put it out to the other municipalities around us and say, hey, so township offices, public works, anybody, what am I thinking?
EMS.
EMS.
Fire, anybody.
So
Councils?
councils.
Yep.
Yep. Anybody that wants to take place. So the nice part about it is it's not gonna cost anybody that wants to join the cook-off anything. You're paying for everything to make the chili. So it would have to be done in a certified kitchen. We'll make sure that everybody understands that it's gotta be certified kitchen to meet, health and safety guide or health unit guidelines. The entry for customers, for people coming in at this stage of the game is $10. And try them all out and vote for your favorite chili and at the end of it, it's bragging rights. So we're gonna come up with a trophy or a plaque and try and make it an annual thing and have some fun with it. And
And it'll be chili this year, but it could be soup next year or homemade beans or anything that could change yearly.
yeah, so it's kind of fun, right? And that's what we want to do. So we're gonna work hard on getting that stuff. Kristen's working hard on new advertising. So we're working on the advertising and the posters coming up so we can get everybody interested and the teen dance and all that stuff, just to keep people moving within the community and have some fun. We did talk about Halloween and we talked about Christmas, but that'll come up more future forward. And park donations and what we're doing with the money. So keeping people in the loop on what we're doing with the money. I think that's about it. I think I covered most of it. Did I miss anything?
Okay.
Yeah, so fun, lots of stuff going on.
Councilor Kirky?
No, I have nothing. I've been kind of out of the loop the last couple of weeks. So.
We did receive the information last week for the last meeting on Lisa Laflamme.
Yes, it's sold out now.
Really?
I saw that.
Okay. Councilor Yam and I were too late then. Okay, so moving on to Councilor Butler.
I attended Hector Levine's dedication at the Pavilion and Calendar. And Patty and Vic Fidelli for the Aaron's Brass Band and Legion members. Got caught behind the parade, so it's an extra half an hour going down Main Street. Waving at it.
Good for you.
That's what I'm like.
Well done. We had an East Home building meeting into June, and there's no East Home meeting and no building meeting and no Pine for July. So the East Home meeting controls work on the roof. They've now installed 211 windows. There's 6 to go. They've put 5 units on the roof and 2 of them are running. And 3 of them, for some reason, 13, 14, and 15. I don't know why they need different ductwork. So they're prioritizing one because they have to have a cooling. They can't go above 22 degrees. So they have to get one running and then they move all the residents into the, I'll call it cafeteria, whatever, and the auditorium. And it's cool, but no fresh air. So now they're working on that. And the roofing, as they put these units on, they've been roofing right up to it. So I'm thinking when we come back for the August meeting, I'm hoping everything is done except they have to do balancing. And that's to get all the levels right. So air conditioning comes on this time and heating comes on this time. And they said, and that changes with every season. So they said it'll take well into the fall. So otherwise, it's going along and we should have some good news, I'm assuming, when we get back in August. So that's all I have to report. So we can move on to adopt the minutes. I need a mover and a seconder, Councilor Yam and Councilor Fleck. It's R 2023-147, moved by Councilor Yam, seconded by Councilor Foote, that the minutes of the council meeting held June 20th, 2023 be adopted as published. All in favor? Carried. Okay, now The next one is a resolution from Phenom, and we have traditionally supported Phenom's resolutions, and you'll see in the package, they suggested a framework and what we needed to say. Was everybody able to read that? Okay, so I'm gonna do the summary on it, but I need a mover and a seconder. Okay, Councillor Butler and Councillor Turkey. I'm going to start as, and therefore, be it resolved that the Township of Nipissing urges the federal government to provide additional funding for Ontario so that we can deal with our shortages of safe and affordable housing, and at the same time build safer and healthier communities for all of our residents. And further, it be resolved that a copy of this resolution be forwarded to the individuals listed below for consideration and support. MP Anthony Rhoda, MPP Vic Fideli, the Association of Municipalities of Ontario, and the Federation of Northern Ontario Municipalities. Excuse me, it's a long one. So that was number R 2023-148, moved by Councillor Butler, seconded by Councillor Kirk. All in favor? Carried. Number 5. This is an application for purchase of road allowance by Richard and Mary Winia, located in front of Plan M146. I think we got a map. I know we got a map. And on Westview Drive, which is off Pine Drive. Off Marion Drive, so it's not that one, Steve, it's the other,
Oh, it's the
the
other-
brown one
Right.
that came into your package. So does anybody have any questions? And we have sold, I'm just looking, 1, 2, 3, 4 other ones on that drive that I can't see. Yeah, next door neighbor.
And then one property is not in the deed restriction area, so that's.
Right. Not in the yellow.
It's within 120 meters of a fish habitat area, so it does require a study.
Mhm.
But we don't do the study.
We order the study,
Right.
but the applicant pays for the study.
Yes. So if there's no questions, we would need a mover and a seconder, Councillor Yem and Councillor Kirky. It's number R 2023-149, moved by Councillor Yem, seconded by Councillor Kirky. Be it resolved that this council does approve in principle the application of Richard and Mary Winia to purchase a shore road allowance located in front of Plan M146, Lot 20, PCL 8076, Township of Nipissing. That this resolution is subject to the following conditions. Council shall select an independent search firm specializing in fishery issues and environmental issues to complete an independent investigation and report to determine the geographic limits where development could occur and to ensure compliance to the provincial policy statement. 2, that the applicant will be responsible for the payment of all the municipality's administrative, legal, accounts, and environmental impact study costs in connection with the processing of this application. Thirdly, in accordance with the municipality's policy, notice and a copy of the draft plan will be mailed to the adjacent owners. If there are no comments or questions, all in favor? Carried. The next one, an appointee to the Nipissing Township Museum Board. So I need a mover and a seconder, Councillor Butler, and move it around, Councillor Butler and Councillor Foote. This is number R 2023-150, moved by Councillor Butler, seconded by Councillor Foot, that we appoint Debbie Rennett to the Nipissing Township Museum Board for the remainder of the council term. All in favor? Carried. The next one, number 7, it's a deeming bylaw. In this case, and I'll wing it and then John Paul could jump in. The gentleman has 2 lots. And he wants to make them into 1 lot, 1 parcel. And it's so funny because so often we hear of people that they put the 2 lots together and they want separate, but this gentleman would like them to be 1. So are there any comments or questions? Because if so, John Paul will gladly answer. Pass him the buck. Okay, seeing none, I need a mover and seconder. Councillor Yam and Councillor Butler. Number R 2023-151, moved by Councillor Yam, seconded by Councillor Butler, pardon me, that we pass bylaw number 2023-35, being a bylaw to deem part of registered plan 42M 592 in the Township of Nipissing not to be a part of a registered plan of subdivision for the purposes of section 54 of the Planning Act, read a first, second, and third time and passed this 11th day of July 2023. All in favor? Carried. Okay, correspondence. Okay, so first one. And I mentioned this at the open house last week, and this is Township of Selwyn requesting support from the province of Ontario in the regulation of short-term rentals. I very much suggest that we support this because what they're saying is they want the provincial government to put regulations for short-term rentals, verbos, and Airbnbs so that there's a consistency throughout the whole province. And it will take it out of every township's hands to some extent. Now, townships can still modify it, but this would give you a base, you know. Any comments or questions? Yes.
I think the listing idea of registering your Airbnbs, because a private owner, say I owned a cottage, I would list it with them. That right to delist or that need to delist, I think that would be the policing method for that. I think that is a good policing method for that.
Yeah.
I support it.
Okay, well, we'll put it in as a resolution in the next one. The next one, the resolution from the municipality of North Perth requesting support for filling a vacant building officials positions. We have been fortunate in our area, very fortunate to have building officials. And we can support this or, you know, let it go. But either way, we're not faced with the same issues here, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to happen later on. So it's up again to council. If you want to support this resolution, we can. I'm not sure how the government will do it, but I do know how they did it with PSWs and people like that. So free education, wage enhancement. So who knows what the government will do, but they want all these houses built. And evidently in the south, there's not enough CBOs. So, and I'd leave it again to you. Should we support this?
I think at some point our CBO is going to retire. I know he's not that old yet, but it would be in our best interest to look far forward.
Mhm.
Okay, so we'll put that, we'll support that. Yeah, the next one, that was a meeting held in May. I gave that information a week later, so we'll call that an information item from the Golden Sunshine Municipal Nonprofit Housing Corporation. And then minutes of the Powassan District Union Public Library meetings, May 15th and June 19th. Again, Steve did present some of this, on May 15th, you did.
Mhm.
And then the 19th is there for your perusal. So we'll call that an information item. Thank you card from Omaguen Highlands Secondary School for our donation. And then the last one is information, just the minutes of the North Bay Perry Sound District Unit Board of Health meeting held April 26th. And if you look at that, our representative is Blair Flowers from, I think he's Macker. He's not South River, I think he's Macker. So Blair Flowers is our representative, but should you ever have a question, Blair Flowers, and then the other southeastern appointee, Mary Ann Stickle, is on the Eastern board, so I see her with great regularity as well. If there are any questions you ever have, both good people to talk to. Steve?
No. When I was reading this, am I correct in thinking that Dr. Zimbalati is going to be taking over from Dr. Jerko?
I think
I
so,
believe so.
yeah.
I believe that already happened, didn't it?
Well, I know that she was an interim
Yeah,
while he was off. But from what I gather from this, she's taking it over with the consent of the board as a permanent position now.
I believe so. Yep. I don't know. Do you?
Not personally, no.
Okay.
I just,
Okay, so if there are no questions about the correspondence, we will need a mover and a seconder, Councillor Butler and Councillor Kirky. You saw how big the accounts to pay is. Okay, it's number R 2023-152, moved by Councillor Butler, seconded by Councillor Kirky, that we accept the correspondence as presented. All in favor? Carried. Okay, the accounts, this long sheet in yellow here. And then evidently I had mine shoved in my bag, but if anybody has any comments or questions. And thank you, Councillor Foote, for stepping out.
522 tower maintenance, it's on here twice. There's 132.29 plus 40.71.
Yeah, there was one for when you arranged for the router on the tower,
Oh, okay,
and then the other one is regular internet.
okay.
Village.
There was some ditching materials.
Beaver.
Oh.
Nuisance beaver trap.
Okay. I just. Yeah, okay, I understand the wording now. I was having difficulty with materials for ditching, okay. I'm good.
Okay. So I am mover to seconder, and now that Councillor Foote's unable to, we'll have to Councillor Kirky. Okay. And Councilor Buck. Thank you. Okay, it's number R 2023-153, moved by Councilor Kirkie, seconded by Councilor Butler, that the statement of accounts dated June 22nd, 27th, 29th, July 5th, and July 7th, totaling $635,242.49 be approved. All in favor? Carried. Councilor Foote, if you would like to join us. Okay. Right, because they were. So we're gonna move into closed session now, and then John, Paul, and Will are going to stay, and Kristen's gonna take a nap. Good for you.
I love it.
So I need a mover and the seconder, Councilor Butler and Councilor Yang. It's number R 2023-154, moved by Councilor Butler, seconded by Councilor Yang. But this part of our meeting will be closed to the public as authorized by section 239(2)(e) and K of the Municipal Act 2001 C-25 for consideration of the following subject matter. E, litigation or potential litigation, including matters before administrative tribunals affecting the municipality or local board. And K, a position, plan, procedure, criteria, or instruction to be applied to any negotiations carried on or to be carried on by or on behalf of the municipality or local board. A review of options in ongoing municipal property legal matter. The time is 6:57. All in favor? Carried.